What's going on, everyone? I'm Ejecta1, and we are back on the Travelaland SMP for a very different video. Now, it has been a while since we've been on the server, and a lot has happened. And, but as you see probably by the title, we are doing a world tour. Now, the reason we're doing a world tour is that because we are, I've kind of made a decision, but I've talked to everyone else about it. We are going to start a new server because this server is we're going to start a new map because this map is we feel like it's kind of run its course and we want to start something new. But before we do that, I want to kind of get a video capture of some of the stuff we've built here and some of the stuff we've done. So I don't know if I'll be able to capture it all, but I'm going to try because there's quite a bit of stuff. It's not a lot, but it is a lot. You'll see what I mean. Anyways, I figure we start off in the central spot, and you can see there has been quite a bit of change. So, first thing is, you might remember the old spawn house in the first few episodes. I will leave a link in the description to the old to the playlist for these, and this will probably be in there too. So, but yeah, this was the old spawn house. It was a very blocky kind of thing, and it was very like old school Minecraft. But if we come in here, and also if you see the lighting being moody, that's not a mod. I recently learned this from someone else. I forget who it was. I just turned my brightness down to 30, and you can see like it makes like a world of difference. I mean, there's still some shadows, but I don't know who it was, but they mentioned to bring the brightness down to 30, and so I've tried that, and it makes the lighting look a lot better. I don't know why, but it does. But anyways, so the spawn house, as you can see, got a major upgrade. I did this, and it's more reflective of what it was supposed to be, in my opinion. So the original spawn house, I don't have images of it, but you could watch videos of it being built. That was supposed to be that was sort of supposed to be a train interlocking tower, and it kind of looked like it, but didn't really look like it. So I rebuilt it into one that actually kind of looks a little bit more like one, I think. So if we come in here, you can see that there's not really a lot. There's a super smelter, and yeah, if we come up here, you can see I built the whole thing, but I left it all blank. Except I did leave the smelter and Jockey the Juke, which is from the old one, or from the old one. I brought that over, so yeah, we always have that, and you can play music on there. Yeah, it's kind of empty because I stopped. These are actually chests that one of them had dirt, and that's but this had all the materials that. So at one point, it's not on camera, but I made an extension to this where there's a bunch of chests, and it was gonna have all sorts of junk. So if you had stuff you didn't need, or if you had things you did need, it sort of created like a trading post or any materials that you thought you needed. And so some of these items are from that, and there's quite a bit, and also the seeds from this. So yeah, and then there's like enchanting books. Alright, so now we can go into the community house. Nothing has changed here. Now this guy, I don't know whose dog it is. It's got to be someone who has been on the server in a while. But basically he's in here because he was outside, and I guess it was turning nighttime or whatever, and I didn't want him to get blown up by a creeper or something like that, so I just pushed him in here so he wouldn't like die. And yeah, this has been pretty much the same. The only change I made was I added so this looks like a block. There's actually a couple slabs, and because when I was over there, I'd see like mobs spawning on here, and that was like a big fat no-no. So yeah, but yeah, this is, aside from that, been like basically the same. It never really got the use case I would have hoped to, but oh well. come out here. And where should we go next? I guess we'll go this way. It's natural. This is Siolan's house, who I will shut his door. I don't know why it's there. I guess he's basically dead. He hasn't been here in a while. I will show it. I will show off the house, Siolan. I did reach out just to, in case people didn't want like something being shown. You know, I'm rummaging through his stuff. Siolan hasn't been on the server in quite a while, so yeah, he's kind of doing his own thing, but that's fine. Everyone comes and goes as he pleases here. And I think I did like dig up some of his potatoes at one point. Alright, I'm actually gonna borrow his bed for a minute. Sorry, Siolan. Oh. Yeah, so he has been on the server in a little bit, but that's alright. That's how things are. But he always had a place here, and he will have a place in he'll always have a place in the new map. Now if we come over here, you can see we have the train station, or the original train station. Now I did add these, which are these, and you can hear that they actually work, and I think this one still works. Yep. And you can throw the egg. Now, this was the original train station. And as you can see, I did eventually repair it. It did get blown up by a creeper. And, yeah, then there's this chest here that I had a bunch of stuff and all sorts of goodies. And, this is supposed to be a timetables thing, but that never happened. Cheese time. I did have, like, a tune. I did have some note blocks here that I was going to use to make, like, tunes. So if you if you stepped on a pressure plate, it'd play a certain tune or whatever. But yeah, this is going to be for a villager to be sort of a station master. But as you can see, this has definitely changed from the last video you've seen of it. I was going to put a train here, but that obviously never happened. So now it's just a piece of track here. And so to explain this, so I dug out the train line, as you can see down there. And I thought the fences looked really cool for this. I don't know why, it just looked really cool. And then I was going to turn this into a, this I was going to actually turn into a local train line. So, like, we've got the train tracks that, like this, these go to different bases and stuff, or that was the plan for it anyways. And then this is going to go all over the central area that we're in right now. So we've got that. And there's Muhammad's house. We'll go check that out in a moment. But I'm being a bit selfish. I want to go check out my stuff first. And we'll go see the train stuff later on. A little bit more. But yeah, that was the original train station. I'm really happy with this build. It's a really cool looking thing. I might do something with that. I might bring that back. Who knows? But if we come up here, we will come up to what was in my episode 3. Which was my base. And as you can see, a lot has changed since then. It was blank, and I added a bunch of stuff here. I added this little garden around the lava thing because I had no idea what else to add here. And then what else? We've got I put my bamboo behind here, so when it grows, it goes up behind there. My horses, my skeleton horses, one of them died because he was being stupid and fell into this fire. So, yeah, they have a tendency. That's why this is like this, because these guys will step in there and they'll burn themselves. I guess they can't stand their existence here. As you can see, I also built this gigantic wall. Yeah, the gigantic cobblestone wall. And, this is so I can spy on my neighbors. And this goes straight to Muhammad's. And I guess we'll go check this out while we're here. I don't think he built really a lot. I could be wrong. I will explain this in a second. This isn't the other skeleton horse. This was always been here. This was his. Yep, he built this house. He says he's not a very good builder. Honestly, this is pretty good. This is actually pretty good. We did get some tiers and stuff like that. Now, to explain why he has my head. Now, we did have the heads. Now, we have the drop heads mod on here at some point. And basically, me and him got into a duel. And so, basically, he killed me and was able to take my head. I'm not very good at PvP, guys. He's definitely a lot better at it than I am. I also did go ahead and there used to be a walking bridge that went up like this and over, and I went ahead and changed it to this because of how the tracks are now, and you can kind of see how that is. I didn't finish the tracks on this side. I didn't get around to it, and yeah, and we can see. And we'll go back this way just to show this off. I will make my way back that way in a little bit. But we have this, and you can see that I built a tunnel. And that that is completely dark. You might not want to go back there. It's kind of dangerous. But there is that. And then I did build another train car. And yeah, we got a lot of mob heads, so you'll probably see a bunch of those everywhere. And yeah, so we have all this. I was trying to start a button collection. I might do that again. And if we come over here, you can see I have this bone meal generator, and that worked pretty well. And we have this little connection for the train cars. And this just goes down to my this does go down to my mine. This is a new mine entrance. And then if I go, if you go down that way, there's actually a trial chamber down there. I'm not going to go down there and show you because we weren't really down there that much, and I don't want to trigger anything. So we've got that. And then if we go up here, you can see that we have this, and I eventually made this little, because for some reason I like to stand here and look at, look out and to the distance and see what people are doing. And then we come over here, and you can see that this is because of the latest release. I don't know why he's here. I guess he's hanging out here now. But this is because of the latest release, the Chase the Skies update, which introduced the Happy Gas, and this is a parking spot for the gas, and you can get up there and you can ride them and stuff. And then if you come over here, you can see that I furnished my house. I guess we could bring you with. Well, actually, we can't. Yeah, you guys stay there. But anyways, you can see that I had a list board for things I wanted to get done that hang above it. I got a TV, and I can, change the channel if I want. Although that sign will get in the way. And we did get, yeah, this is like fully furnished. I do quite like it for its simplicity. And we got ourselves a nice little couch. We can hang out here and talk to people and look at who's coming through the door. Got a nice little clock so I know what time it is. These have a few goodies in them. These all have locations that are actual locations. Well, they're resource locations. And then, of course, we have all these. And we got my bed, which is up here, the first pickaxe, because I always honor that. I do have a chicken farm here. And this is actually, now, if you remember the chest that I showed off downstairs, or on the ground level, this actually has a bunch of hoppers that funneled its way down to there. So, yeah. And if you come down here, we can see you have this little balcony. This is where I ended the episode to which I built this. And if we come over here, I did get a couple of discs. I had more, but I actually lost them. So I think I don't know if I'll get copyright strike from this. I don't care. I'm not getting paid by YouTube anyway, so there's that. We'll play the classic Minecraft tune. Actually, that's getting annoying. No, we're not. Yeah, so we can just sit here and put on some tunes and... Okay. I'll leave that there. I did have tears and... I had tears and lava chicken at one point. I think I do have lava chicken. I could be wrong. I might have lost that, but Yeah, and then if I go over to here, so this is actually supposed to be, it's supposed to use the bamboo for fuel. It's absolutely terrible, but I have it anyways. There is some extra stuff here from when I had this as a full thing, but it wasn't working that way. So basically this will trigger the minecart, and the minecart goes down and it'll go and pick up all the bamboo or as much as it can, and it brings it back up and it drops it off. The dirt, I was going to start on the mountain, but I never got around to it. Or I never got around to actually like fully working on it, so now it's in the state that it's in. Just one giant dirt slab. One potato. I was going to make this into a garden, but that never happened. But we do have the potatoes here. And then this was where we birthed the happy ghast. We had two, but one died because it clipped into a wall somewhere. And if we come over here, you could see things start to get a lot bigger. That was supposed to be the new meeting hall. And I never finished the insides and the windows and such. So now it's just some kind of ethereal giant monument. I did work on this. This is probably one of my favorite views of the server, just because of how like dense it is and how well it works. And I am kind of looking for a bed. I might steal one. Let me run. Yeah, let me run up real quick and get some sleep before mobs start spawning. Now, because I will add that when I added the minecart that picks up the bamboo, I had another mine access that I made, but I had to cut that off because they kind of got in the way of each other. So that's why that happened. Okay, so now we have this. Yeah, so now we have all this. Yeah, so basically there was an original mine shaft part here, but because of this I had to cut it off. So there is like a giant cave under here. Anyways, let's go down this way. And as you see, this is one of my favorite parts. I do have a actual dumpster for my own thing, and it works really well. And then these carpets, they just house the torches that light this area up, because just to help with these. And I do like how I was able to get the azalea trees, and these are just naturals. But I did get this whole block, and this is pretty high up for road, but I think like places in California are fine with it. I did work on this. I really do like this part of the road. It looks really cool. And then I built this. Now, this was originally super high up. Like, this was at the level of that. But, like, it was at the same level we were just at. But I decided it was a little too tall. Like, way too tall. So I decided to bring it down. So this is like a whole project and a half. And this road was going to connect to out there and such, but that never happened. But I did decide to keep the stone for the road here, to simulate concrete. But this all got brought down, and this was going to be made into a gigantic bridge. That never happened. And I will show off the building that we're at in a second. And then I made this ramp, which because I did that, allowed me to make this a lot lower, because this was like really, really high up. So if we come over here, now you can see a project that took me, I'm not sure how long it took me, but it took me quite a while. I actually planned this out in a creative world. And this is, in fact, I did mention we had the train station, and that was no longer the train station for the main train stuff. This, it's not Big Ben, it is a train station. And, yeah, this took quite a bit of materials and quite a bit of planning. I felt like a real Minecraft YouTuber, even though I wasn't recording. And this is all the junk chests because I never bothered to move them. So if we go inside, I will show you real quick what this looks like. Even the interior is planned out, and this looks really cool. And yeah, the back window, I was going to try and do a mosaic. As you can see, there was a bunch of spaces available. And you had some cafes and stuff like that. But the real magic is, well, how's this a train station? If you come down here, you will see we in fact have a train station. And yeah, that was me experimenting with some pistons because I was trying to figure out how to make them, because like this quasi connectivity, which I find really weird, but Minecraft be Minecrafting. And so yeah, and here's all the leftover stuff from this build. And now to explain what's going on here, why there's redstone stuff down here, and why I had to do that is actually because, well, if you look down here, you see some redstone. And all this does is it changes the track direction. So I added these crossovers, and I wanted a way to have the player be able to change them. But I also wanted a way to be able to indicate that the track has been changed and to what track it's been changed to. And so when I flick this lever, you can see it flips that to that. And it also does the same thing to here. And it indicates what track it's been switched to. So basically if you come in from any of these two tracks, yeah, so basically if you go out on this track, it's going to shift down to there, and vice versa. But if you take off from here, it's going to take you down this track, right? And the same thing with there. And these are going to be like announcement boards. Those would be announcement boards, just to allow people to know what's going on. Yeah, it's a really cool system. It took a little bit to figure out because there's actually a just because like to get these to be on the same side, I had to do a bunch of like flipping stuff around because for some reason it wasn't working. Yeah, there was a bit of an issue working on it, but I eventually sorted it out, and now we have what we have. So now we have that, and if we, and I did this because I want it to be so if you come in so when you come in, you'll just default to the same track. At least that's the plan. I believe that's the right way. Is that? Let me. There is an Enderman down there. I mean, it basically goes down that way, so I probably messed that up somewhere. Let's see. Well, it's supposed to be for the outbound track, so when you come into the station, because it doesn't matter to me what track you come in on this. It's just a matter of what outputs you go down. This was going to be expanded so it connects to the bases, but that never happened. That fell through. This one was going to go to what was supposed to be the shopping district, but it never happened. And then this is going to eventually connect to Cubus's base. We will take a look at that in a little bit. But as you can see, it was going to go down that way, and that stick of cobblestone is actually where that was, but never got around to it, and I couldn't figure out how to make it connect without interrupting this road. So that's the, so that's what you get. And then this is also where the local train would have came in as well. It actually, I know I'm a bit all over the place, but it's kind of how this map is. And you can see we moved another portal in here, and this is where the track was going to come. And when we're out here, the water is just an elevator, so I could get to where I need to go. Okay. So, and then if I take and come down here, and just to point this out, because this is actually the curved track that goes right where the old station, this goes right by the old station, that covered spot I showed you earlier. So now we have that. Let's head back up, and we're going to, yeah, and then I believe one of these, and then one of these is actually the access to the redstone. I didn't bother covering these up with carpets yet. And it is very, very dark down here when it's not, yeah, there it is. Yeah, so this just goes down to the redstone, and yeah, you can kind of see how this all works and functions. I don't think we won't be making like a server, like a map, a downloadable map with this. Yeah. And I will take this with me, my travel bed. And then if we come this way, we are out, and we will go here. Now this goes to a little parking lot and a little drop off there. And we do actually also, for the train station, the Grand Central, we do have roof access. This was going to be more detailed, but I decided against it. Well, I didn't decide against it. I just didn't have time. Now, if you come here, I really do like this build. I actually might bring this over to a season 2 or a future build or something because I really do like the look of this. The simple bus stop. And yeah, I know it's a bit childish, but I did decide to build Birdie the bus from Thomas the Tank Engine into here. Unfortunately, Birdie is a standing bus, but I'm sure that's fine. You're paying for the ride, not for the seats. I think that's how these things work. Yeah, and then this is going to be the access to the local train. So basically you could come off the local train and go straight to the Grand Central. So yeah, and then we also have a bunch of roads that are also paths. Yeah, and then these are roads that were also that were going to be functioning as paths. That is one of the lights with street signs that tell you where things or what roads you're on. And I will try to show this off, but there's like nothing in here. It's basically just like a really big, like, ethereal thing. It looks really cool from the outside, but yeah, I never finished the flooring or the stairs. So, like, you can see I started, but I didn't like actually work on it. And then that was actually going to be the airport. I never got around to that. So this is going to be like a transportation hub. If you were to take this road or this rail, this was also going to go to the shopping/games district, but I'm not going to even bother going over there because there's nothing over there. Because we never really bothered to do that, but that's fine. Since we're starting a whole new thing. And what else? All right. Now we're gonna go show off the other end. We did put another portal in here, just so you can come out of here and you'd have this nice open central area. And yeah, I think it would have turned out nicely if we had pushed on with it. All right, now we're gonna head the other direction. I probably should have went this way first because there's a lot less stuff. Be nice if I could sleep. Maybe I'm going to bed on an empty stomach. There we go. Yeah, that fixed it. Not good going to bed on an empty stomach, I guess. Anyways, if we continue on this way, we will make our way back through the main village, and we just went to Muhammad's thing. These are probably the 2 oldest houses in the game. Well, this one's a prison for people with broken necks. We did have videos of that one. I don't think we did anything with that one. Cubus had his house, but he completely rebuilt it and turned it into this. And I will show this off since it's the end of it. I added this. Yeah, I added this after he left, just sort of as a joke, because I figured if he'd come by and see this, he'd have a good laugh at it, or anyone would, because I think this is like, I know this is like basically central spawn. But yeah, so we had that, and then I did build a lot of stuff. Server's kind of dead a lot of times because people are busy with lives, but I did build this, and this is going to be an access to this part of the land without breaking up the wall. And I did build these fences to keep mobs out. And then you get out to here, and you can see this is someone's house. I believe this is CW. Yep, CW. And as you can see, if we come in here, not a whole lot in here, but that's fine. Looking into his storage, he's got a lot. Oh, wow. This man has been online. He's been grinding. CW's like OP at this game, I guess. And then we have this little guy. I still don't know what this is. The Almighty 2. Someone built, I believe this is CW, who also built this. We will head that way in a moment. That's also CW. He built some kind of, I don't know what he's doing. I'm not going to go over there because there's some pillagers, and I don't want to trigger raid or anything. He did make a lava chicken farm. And then you can see like where I stopped working on the mountain. Not because I ran out of stuff, because I didn't really care for it. And because we're ending the server. Well, we're not ending the server, we're just gonna start a new map. If we come this way, let me do a quick little skip. Over here is the cave that I raided in episode 2 of the SMP videos. And if you come over here, you can see we have this giant wall. And this is, I believe it's Muhammad's base. This is like a late stage thing. Cheese was here, potato. Travella. This is Travella. I thought it was Muhammad. Okay. So yeah, this is like Travella's area. And as you can see, I believe Travella and Thib built this. And yeah, this is actually really cool. I like the look of this. Yeah, I'm not gonna question. I believe the fire spread might be turned off. That's probably what's happening, which is a good idea for stuff like servers. All right. So I don't know much about this place. It's a very late stage thing. I just wanted to show it off really quick because I'm trying to make this video into a time capsule. So if anyone here that has played the server wants to reminisce, they can reminisce. Now I don't know what this is supposed to be. I mean, it's a giant flag, but I don't know what that is. Oh, great. Yeah, let's get out of here. Now we come up here. We should be safe from the pillager. Now, if we come over here, I will show this off really quick before we move on. CW did build a lot of the farms. That's like someone built that super early game, and we built around it. And here's a better look at the sign thing. And I did take time to name these to different things so you can find your way. This is going to be another bridge that was going to connect to the road that's like way over there, but we never did. That build looks really cool, even if it's dilapidated. This road also was going to go to the shopping district. This is an iron farm, and I believe this one over here is a villager breeder. Yes, it is. And so, yeah, a lot of farms built over here. And I did take like quite a bit of iron from the iron farm to build a lot of rails. And also for tools. Alright, now what we're going to do is we want to go to the other bases. Now, if you remember in episode 3, I showed off my... I might have showed off my small little island. And I'm going to throw this on, because we'll need this. But I've decided not to live in that small island. I have a whole nother spot. And I think you guys are going to really enjoy it. Let's get through another. Now this is going to be our... Hold on, let me turn that down. Sorry, I got to turn that down. I can't hear myself think. That portal is loud. Anyways, so this is going to be our central hub, but that never came through to fruition. And, you know, gas have blown holes in it. But as you can see, we'll actually go to Cubus's base first. So if we go the other way, I said the other way, because this actually goes to my base and Ghost's base. Well, Ghost actually has a couple bases. I don't know if I'll be able to find his other base. This has been attacked by a lot of gas over the years, or over the time. It's only been a few months, but it feels like years. So we come down here. And yeah, this is a path that Cubus worked on himself. I tried to help out a little bit, but I was going to help him with it, but that plan fell through. And yeah. So this is one of his portal, one of Cubus's portals. Let's take a look at what he's got over here. Now this is supposed to be his wandering traveler, or weary traveler place. And I think we have a wanderer's tavern. And I believe he's got one, actually. Come over here, you can see he made a little thing for people to come by and settle. But yep, you can see he was doing this. I think it's a really cool idea. I don't know if there's anything else over here. I could be wrong. But we're going to go this way. Back through the portal. And that takes us back where we just were. I built this. I was going to build a full-on bridge with this, but that plan got scrapped. And I'm not really worried about destruction at this point, since we're not going to be here much longer. I'm pretty sure I built this too, unless he built... He might have built this. I'm pretty sure he did. Yeah, Cubus built like a giant elaborate path to get to his base, which I think is pretty cool. And we'll go to get to his other base. So if we come here, this is all sorts of complicated. I've gotten lost doing this several times. But come over here, and we just gotta look for the staircases. And then we should find our way to this portal. And this is actually Cubus's actual base. It is nighttime. So private property, no trespassing, but yeah. Well, I've trespassed quite a bit here. Yeah, I have trespassed here quite a bit. So yeah, so he has that. This is from me because he had a giant thing of spruce wood, and I actually yeah, because he actually had a giant thing of spruce wood, and I needed spruce wood, so I tore it down. But I left him like I only needed the sapling, so I just tore out his spruce and just like put in this chest for him. So you can see I did that. And then he had this little timeout hole. The best house in Minecraft, in my opinion. And if you agree, you should definitely like and subscribe. And if you don't agree that this is the best house in Minecraft, you should definitely like and subscribe. Well, second best. I think the dirt hut will always have a special place in our hearts. As you can see, it's a very important trapdoor. And this is his first house he did here. And you can see he did quite a bit here. Take that on my face so you can see better. And yeah, this is just... Yeah, Cubus is like one of the really good builders on the server. Like, he's really good at just coming up with these like builds and such. Yeah, like he's not on here much, but when he is, like, his building skills are really good. And yeah, so we have that. And I know if we come over, I will show this off because I did see this a little bit. If we take and sit here, you can see he built himself a little railway. Takes you through the countryside. And it sort of just stops there. Okay. And we skipped over a bunch of stuff. So he did build himself a villager breeders and stuff like that, which are pretty cool. I'm terrible at villager breeders. And then he started work on this. This is really cool. Like, see, Cubus is like a genius when it comes to building. Like, the stuff he knows how to build is absolutely insane. Like, I mean, this is like, I think he stopped midway, but this is still really cool. And then that, so to explain what this is to people who probably are going to watch. So this was actually done by me as sort of a joke. because he had a sign up here for the castle he was going to build. Like, so there's a plan to build a castle. And so as a joke, I sort of built him a castle, which is really, really tiny. So, but yeah, it was a, yeah, I figured I'd sort of do that as a joke. All right. Yeah, and he built this house right over this chasm, which is very interesting. I probably wouldn't have built some over a chasm, but Cubus is crazy, so. But he's a crazy good builder, so I give him props to that. Has this little tent, and I believe that's his trading hall down there. It's hard to see, but it is there. Alright, so that's that. Let's go look at, I will put this back where it was. Can I? Can you get on the track? Let's go. Ooh, I had just enough. Alright. We'll put this back. Now we'll take a look at Ghost's place. Now, well, I should say Ghost's old place, because Ghost has two places, or you'll see what I mean. Now, trying to find Ghost's old place is going to be a bit tricky to find. I know where it's at. Let me put this on. There's a lot of Endermen here. We're going to make our way to the Basalt Delta. There. I'm trying to remember where he put his... There it is. Alright. I knew it was somewhere around here. And I don't know what that is. That might have been a resource bridge. Alright. Let's go take a look at Ghosts. So now we're here at Ghost base. Well, this is his old base, and I think Ghost is also a really cool builder. Like, I keep putting this shield in my way. Yeah, I will say Ghost is also a really talented builder. Just look at some of the stuff he's built. Like, this is like, you know, more modern buildings. Like, these are really cool looking. And I don't think he really did much over here, but I still want to show these off because I just think they're really, like, really good builds. And I don't know what else he did over here. I don't think much. He hasn't been on the server much, but that's because he's been, you know, everyone's busy with life, so that's kind of why we're at where we're at. But I'll come in to show off the insides. Like, not very decorative on the insides, but still really good. I believe he has one house he settled as his own, and it'd be this one, I believe. So if you come over here, and this is, I believe this is tough. Like, I do love tough, and I wouldn't even thought to use it in something like this, but it works out really well. And you see, this is, well, I shouldn't call him Ghost. I don't know how to pronounce his new name, but I call him Ghost anyways. As you see, he's got a bunch of cats. And he's got an upstairs that's very barren, and, you know, it's got a couple potatoes. I won't question that. I guess he had a late night snack, and yeah, it just looks really cool. And all right, so now we have that, but he stopped here, so we are gonna go back through the Nether, and I'm gonna go the other direction from the central hub, because that's where his new base is, and that's where my base is. So I'm just going to skip on over to there. Okay, now we're back at the central hub. We're just going to go around it because this thing lacks doors. We're going to go this way. Now, I made this cobblestone path, and this goes all the way in my base. But before I go to that, we got to go to Ghost's other base, which is this way. Because he decided to build a lot closer to me. And I guess he got bored of his other base. I don't think he built as much in this base, but I still want to show it off. I just want to capture as much as I can, so that's why we're doing this. Try to avoid the lava. Whoa! I almost died there. Come down here. Yeah, he built himself like a whole intricate thing to get to his portal. And so his new base is over here. And if we come over here, and this is his new. Oh, he was expanding. Okay. Yeah, this has changed since I was here. Yeah, so we had this, and this is a so this is Ghost's new base, and this is insane. Like, yeah, Ghost is like one of the better builders on here. That's really cool. I wouldn't have thought of that. Like, I would have, but I wouldn't have been able to figure out how to do that. He has lodestones because he likes using lodestones over the coordinates. This is his base. It looks very modern, very cool. One giant stone slab. And yeah, that's really cool. He's also got coordinates to a bunch of other stuff, lodestone stuff, but I'm not going to show it off because it's more just natural structures. And yeah, this looks really cool. He has a automatic sugarcane farm. And yeah, like this just looks all like super cool and super modern. And he's got himself some cows, some of the new cows. I didn't know he dug this out. That's pretty cool. All right. Anyways, let's go to sleep. Because the next step we're going to go is I believe that's where we're going to, and I might be missing a base or two. I'm sorry to the members if I am, but I'm trying my best here. But now we're going to go to the final base. I believe it's the final base on this SMP. And that is, of course, my base. And I will admit that it's got a lot of good stuff, but it could have definitely used some TLC. But I will show it off. So now where we're going to go is, so now that we've seen Ghost Base and the other bases, and I might be forgetting some bases. I do apologize if I am missing one, or if I missed a base or something that's important. Oh, I'm good. I thought they were going after me. But yeah, so now that we've seen all the other bases, and I'm sorry if I left out any bases or details that I should have captured, but I don't want this video to be too long. I do have to edit it and such. But if I go over this way, we are going to go now head to the final base, which is, in fact, my base. And we do have to be careful up here, because, for one, I'll starve. And this is not a place you want to starve at, because gas will spawn like crazy here. As you can see. Case in point. And we have this long, narrow tunnel. And I am just going to show this off as well because it's like really far away. Like I said, I was going to settle on that small island outside of the central island, but I decided against it. And I wanted to build something really big and crazy. And so yeah. And that doesn't go to a base, that just goes to resource collecting. I was gathering glowstone. This comes down here, and yes, I built this whole thing. And now this, I was going to build a better way of doing this, but this just sort of worked out as a way to protect against these guys, because these guys hurt a lot. So I could just go between the poles and protect myself. I'm trying to make sure there isn't one. So I could go ahead and find a piglin. I could use those holes to hit them while being protected. Yeah, this is a very long path, even for the nether. This is something I am looking to, this is part of something we're going to change in the next map that we do. I will give a little insight to that. So what I mean by that is basically Our bases are super far away, and while it's okay and everything, it's not really the best. I would prefer that we didn't do this. So we are going to look at bringing our bases a lot closer together. Alright, so anyways, we spawn in, and you'll see we have a nether inspired building. Well, yeah, nether inspired. And you might have already heard it, but this is the happy gas I mentioned earlier. I travel with him like thousands of blocks away. This is like over 3,000 blocks away in just one direction. But we'll come out this way, and you'll see I have this and a bunch of heads, which is pretty cool. All sorts of like, greebling. And this goes up to a unfurnished apartment. And if we come up here, this was going to be like a little balcony for the resident of this place to hang out in and look out onto the rest of the area. Now this comes out to probably one of my favorite areas. Now this, you probably can... Now that was my... Okay, so this is my cobblestone generator, but I also mixed in a lava generator, since it's just a 2-in-1 farm. This, you could probably tell exactly what this is. This was the lava chicken booth from the Minecraft movie, or a Minecraft movie. And as you can see, I tried to get it to work. Now, let me turn down this. This rain is really annoying. Sorry, guys. Can't hear myself talk. But anyways, now you might be wondering, okay, so you failed to build a chicken farm. Well, that's not the case. See, I was trying to build one that was a lot closer to the movie. So in a typical chicken farm, you'd have a dispenser push out a baby chicken, wait for it to grow, and then the lava would kill it. But I want it to be I wanted it to be closer to the movie, where it drops a grown chicken in, and then it kills it with lava. But as you can see, that didn't really work out so well. It didn't burn down. I just tore it out because I couldn't figure it out, and I was still stumped on it. And so, yeah, that's kind of how it all panned out. I was working on I think the farthest I got was, I did get the water stuff up here to work, so it could drop down. So you could basically drop down the cooked chicken down here, and that was basically the overall plan, was to have that just like the actual movie. But that didn't really work out. I actually want to bring this back and revisit it at some point and try to get to work. But yeah. So you got that. And then next to it, and you might have heard a special someone. Now, I did build this sort of last minute. I really do like this build. I'd like to implement it into a new build or something. Yeah, because we're not keeping the map, but I'd like to keep... So since we're not keeping the map, we're going to switch out to a new one, but I want to bring a lot of this stuff over, which is also why I'm filming it, so I can bring some of these ideas. Now, this is a train station. It was meant to be more furnished than this, but yeah, this is, I'm really happy with the look of this and the overall aesthetic. I think it looks really good. You can actually see, if you look really closely, I use the hanging signs to suspend these from, and I think it works out really well. This then goes back into there, if you go that direction. And then you've got a bunch of protective things, just to protect people from going onto the tracks. If you cross the tracks here, you will notice that there is this is supposed to be a bike stop. So like you could hook up your bikes to here and like a bike rack. Then we come over to here, and you can see that we got the happy gas. This is where I put them because I don't have a place to put them right now. This is my villagers that were on my small island. These are actually the villagers from the village we sacked in episode 1. And I brought them to my island, and I left them there, and then I brought them here. They were going to be put into a villager breeder, so I can have populations here. But yeah, that never worked out, obviously. Now, if you watched my recrafted video, my latest one, you will know that I mentioned a thing I worked on when I built my house, that I was going to borrow a technique from Travelaland to bring it over here. This archway was that thing. So if you watch how I built that house, you'll see a very similar, kind of a similar technique. It's different, but similar. Hi there, buddy. So yeah, you have that. And this is where I got that idea from. I was just throwing this together and I was testing it out, and I really liked how it went together. Yeah, this is all dug out. I will show why that is in a moment. If we come over here, you can see this is supposed to be the train drop off, or for dropping off to get to the train station. And yeah, I increased the mob head drop to 100%, so you'll basically just always get ahead. And yeah, so I was just collecting a bunch of heads, and yeah. The painting was supposed to be an advertisement for the train station at one point, but it's just there now. And this was my storage room, where I started storing all my stuff and all sorts of goodies here. And more heads. And more heads. And yeah, then I built this truck. I really like this truck. This is all sort of last minute, except for this. I did have a camel that was parked here. I don't know where he went, but I lost him while I was building something. But I do have chickens, so I guess that makes up. And if we go up here, you see I built this fence and this platform, and you'll be able to see, yeah, a gigantic sugarcane farm. And yeah, I built that sort of at the, yeah, I sort of built this, and I was going to cover it up, but that never happened, obviously. I got the walls, but yeah, it looks really good. And I was going to build, like, now this, I was going to build, like, my main base or whatever, but there's a mountain just ahead. I have to watch it for mobs. But there's this mountain up here, and right at the top of this mountain, I don't know if you can see it. Oh, now you can't. But if you come up here, if I can get out, there's a pillager tower up here, and yeah, and basically we had like the entire server get on and just fight pillagers because so to put a little story, Muhammad, I told Muhammad about it just so he's aware that it's there. And he's like, I could fight it. I have no problem. And I was like, well, I can't let him go by himself because he'll get destroyed. So I decided to follow him, and we both got our butts handed to us by pillagers, and it basically took Travella and Ghost to come in and help us, and Ghost basically OP'd the whole thing. So yeah, and for some reason I catch blame for it, but I'm not to blame for it. And then I guess I can show this off so we can work our way around. This I was going to make a gigantic bridge. Never really happened. I was going to have a road that broke off from here and went that way. And yeah, I'm going to probably mention a lot of times that stuff that was going to happen never did. I made this out of mud. A lot of people don't seem to like regular mud, but it's nice and cheap. I was going to design this better, but I didn't. And yeah, so we can just walk across here. Nice big diagonal road for horses and pigs and such. That's just a junk chest full of stuff that I've collected. And this, eventually it turns to soul soil. So eventually if I come out here far enough, it does turn to soul soil. And this was going to connect up to Ghost Base. And then where the bridge was going to start in Travelaland, it was going to connect up to there. So we were going to have like one interconnected road system, so you didn't have to take another. And if we come over here, we'll go back this way. The road network never really worked out. It was just a really big project. And obviously, yeah. Now this, as you can see, is the latest project, what I was working on last. So this is the This is my wheat farm. This is how I kept myself, this is how I kept myself from starving. Obviously, I switched to other means of food. But, yeah, now this was going to be like a recreational, like, old docks area or something like that. Eventually, but that never happened. This, well, actually, yeah. So this was actually supposed to be in conjunction with this. So let me explain a little bit. So if I come over here, you can see that there's a bunch of pillagers, which is not good. Now, basically this bridge, I forget what the place is. This bridge is actually based on a existing one in Britain. I believe it's, I forget the name of the place. But it was based on an actual thing, and now I'm stuck. I can fix this. There. So basically, this bridge was actually based on an actual bridge in Britain, and I forget what place it is. But it's like a very cool looking, kind of majestic looking old style bridge, kind of sort of, and it sort of juts off into like a neighborhood. That was sort of the idea. So I just used that bridge to build this area, or to jut across here, and as you see, it continues the road that way. And this is going to be filled with a bunch of houses. That's what we did here, as you can see, and that turned out pretty well. I finished a good majority of them, but yeah. Fun fact, all the villagers in this area, because this was actually a village, but as evidenced by that and the bell, but all the villagers eventually died from different problems. And so now we get over to here, which is my chest monster and my head monster again. This was going to be this is going to be the Swedish village. This is going to be expansion of that. So basically, this is going to be like all of this all the way down was all going to be like Swedish buildings, and because the buildings here are based off like ones in Sweden. And so yeah, all these buildings here, and we're all going to be like Swedish based, and yeah. And then so to give some context a little bit as to what's going on here aside from the ruins, these three buildings were going to be Trip Trap Troll, which was suggested by Ghost because he is actually Swedish. He's from there. And he suggested that I build Trip Trap Troll. I'm like, yeah, we should definitely do that. And so I was going to put it, and so I was going to build it here. And then I figured, well, and while looking at images of Sweden to get some ideas, I actually came across this, this is going to be an idea. I came across a church in Torshälla, or the Torshälla Church, and so this was actually going to be a recreation of that, which I think would have been a really cool centerpiece to this area. And if we come over here, now this wasn't going to be a building. I will kind of explain what this was going to be. So this is as you can see, this is like a giant cave that goes down. Not all the way, but quite a ways. So I was going to turn this into a business, and I was going to call it the Simon Lewis Mining Company. I'll let you guys figure that one out, that reference out. But yeah. I'm pretty sure it's I'm pretty sure it would have been ran by dwarves. But that plan never went through. And yeah. And I believe is that everything I wanted to show off. I will show off another part of my base that I never showed the other members, that I kept a secret, kind of, sort of. Well, yeah. So if we come over here, this isn't really a secret, but I did bring back somebody that you might remember from my old Let's Play series, my old one. And yes, this was going to be a functioning railroad crossing, but it never, it worked, but I needed redstone, and so I took it from this. But I brought back a special guest and he is very ecstatic to be a part of this video. Ender Buddy. Yes, Ender Buddy has made a return, and he is a office clerk. Well, he's sort of a house clerk or something like that. Just kind of checks you in, because these are going to be like little like bed and breakfast kind of things. And he was going to be like kind of a, I think it's a stewardess or a help desk person. But yeah, we have that. This was for some sheep because I needed wool and to give them a home. The base was going to expand that way, but it never did. Now, if I come over here and there's a particular spot we have to look for, I believe it is... We've got that hole. It's not that. I believe it's this block. Nope. Maybe it's... There it is. Hid so well I couldn't even find it. And if I come down here... Yeah. So, to give a little story with all these things here. And that's why I built the sugarcane farm and this. So, the reason I did this was because after I lost my battle against Muhammad and he took my head, I wanted to claim my head back. And so I started getting myself geared up and trying to get better than him. And you can see that, yeah, I built like but I didn't want him to catch on to what I was doing. Yeah, I didn't want him to see what I didn't want him to catch on to what was happening. So I basically built the sugarcane farm, and you could basically see that. But I basically hid this away so no one could see it or no one could find it. And yeah, so that way I could gear up without him noticing. But since it's the end of the server, doesn't really matter. So yeah, this was my base and the server and everything else in between. I think a good way to end this video is let's head back to the... Actually, wait, do I have it? I don't know if I do. I don't know if I have it. If I do, it's definitely not here. Nope, not here. Okay, so it's definitely gone. Because I did have lava chicken and tears at one point, but that's gone with the wind. But anyways, I think we're going to go ahead and head on back to the Travelaland Central area. And we will wrap up this video because I don't feel it's right to end it here, even though it's turning nighttime. So, yeah, let's go to sleep and I will run home. Put on my shield right quick. All right, let's head on home. And actually, you know what? I'm going to, nah. I was going to leave the... Actually, hold on. Do we have a chest here? I will go ahead and just leave the first diamond here. And let's go grab... let's go back to the... Oh, I'll show this off. I'm really happy with this design. It's very simple. It uses string and levers, but it's really nice and effective. I think it turned out really well. Okay. Sidetracking aside, let's get back to the central area and we'll wrap up this video. Okay, and we're back to the... And now we're back to the main area. Let's go ahead and have our last steak. And we'll go ahead and do this. I think what I will do as well is I'm going to go ahead and drop off all my stuff because I'm not going to need it anymore. Let's just put it all in there. Only proper way to end the SMP, in my opinion, is drop off all your stuff. Even though this won't be made into a map, a server or map or anything, I think it's all only righteous. Anyways, I think let's go ahead and end it up here. Actually, sorry, Duggo, can't come with this. I don't think it's how Minecraft works. But anyways, I think that is gonna have to do it for this video. I do appreciate everyone's support, and if you do like this video, please leave a like and subscribe, and you know, turn that bell notification on so when I upload a video you get that. And there's a guy that wants to see my house. I think that's the IRS over there. Don't tell them I haven't filed my taxes yet. Shh, they don't know, even though they're like right there. Anyways, but be sure to like and subscribe. And also to the Travelaland members. Thanks for playing the first season of this SMP, even though it didn't last long and people weren't on very much because, we all have lives and things get busy. But we're all ready for a fresh start, and even though we're gonna lose this and our memory, we're gonna, we're gonna lose a lot of the memories here, but a lot of them are on video, so we'll be good, and we'll be able to create new memories and new stories. So it'll be really interesting and exciting to see. And yeah. Anyways, that is all from me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I already told you what to do. You guys already know that though. But anyways, I'm Ejecta1, and until my next video, which I believe it should be a Let's Play video. I could be wrong. That's most likely what it's gonna be. Because I really want to get back to my Let's Play video. I need to get back to that because that has to happen. Anyways, that is it for me. I'm Ejecta1, and until my next video, guys, you have been ejected. Goodbye, Travelaland Season 1. Goodbye. And hello, Season 2.